You know, over the past couple of weeks, I've had some issues going on, and things with my immediate family, my mom and my older brother having vehicle issues, my mother having to call out of work 3 times in the past 2 weeks, when up until that point, she has never called out in 5 years at her current job. Seeing people that I associate with online or in person having personal troubles. One of them being my co-host, Cypher, who will not be joining me for the Game Corner podcast for the foreseeable future. I'm hoping he won't be out long. I'm hoping he will come back to the podcast soon. Hopefully I'll have him back next week or the week after or the end of this month at some point. I don't know. But things just haven't been going smoothly for myself and my family and people I associate with. And all these things going wrong has just been making my life this much harder. And the only good things that have come out of the past couple of weeks is my brother graduating middle school, so he'll be starting high school in September. He'll be in 9th grade. And I got my Vine Sauce t-shirt in the mail that I had ordered in the middle of May. And it finally came in last week. And after having a near-death experience on Friday morning, I come back and, I sit just and stare at the ceiling. And, I come to appreciate a little bit more, and be thankful a little bit more for the things I have, to be alive, to not have ended up in a fatal accident Friday morning due to the brake line on my brother's Ford Explorer snapping while we tried to use the brakes to slow the vehicle down to turn onto a main road at the end of our street. And my mom's vehicle broke down 2 weeks ago. It's going to cost her possibly anywhere from about $800 to $2,000 or more to fix, depending on what the actual problems are with it. And so my brother let her use his backup vehicle, which has been sitting and hasn't moved for a few months, because he's been driving his main vehicle, which he broke his car key on yesterday. He noticed his key bent, I don't know how, and he tried to straighten it out and his key snapped, so now he can't drive his car. And it's going to cost him, I don't know how much money, for the Ford dealer to program him a new key or whatever so he can use his car again. So Friday morning we were going out to do something in the morning before my mother had to go to work, which she ended up calling out because of the brake line on his truck breaking. And if we couldn't stop the vehicle and get the vehicle, jerk it off the road, just nearly missing a sign and a couple of trees to stop the vehicle, we could have ended up coasting into oncoming traffic at the intersection where we were trying to stop and turn onto. So I know Thanksgiving is quite a ways away yet, still about almost a half a year away, but after an experience like that on Friday morning, you come to just appreciate and be thankful just a little bit more for being alive, for having the things you have, a place to rest your head at night, a place to live comfortably, for now. Eventually we'll hopefully get something better than what we have. But, shit happens. And then to top things off yesterday, we get the mail, and I have been summoned for jury duty in August. And now, because I can't do the questionnaire online, because I have to answer one of the questions differently than it allows you to online, I have to tell them that I am unfit to properly serve as a juror because of my disability. And on the online form, it doesn't allow you to do that. And it tells you if you have to answer no to this question, you have to return the questionnaire that will be mailed to you. And on my jury duty summons, it says at the bottom, if you fail to respond or show up for jury duty, a warrant for your arrest could be issued and you could be charged with contempt of court. And my mail carrier here has a bit of a track record for messing up. And when you have to deal with hundreds of pieces of mail every day, I'm not expecting you to be perfect. But now I am having to put the hopes that the mail carrier doesn't put my jury duty questionnaire form in the wrong mailbox when it gets delivered. Because I don't want to go to jail for a mistake made by the Postal Service. That would be pretty fucked up. But it has happened in the past where, quite a few times over the past 5.5 years, where either we would get someone else's mail, but we would always be nice enough to actually give it to them, or we did not receive something in the mail, whether it was something important or tickets to a wrestling event or something that we were expecting in the mail and never got them. That's actually happened twice with wrestling tickets. If someone else gets our mail for some reason, whatever, they don't give it to us. And it says on the summons not to call the jury management office to request a questionnaire. Let me tell you something, in 3 fucking weeks, 4 weeks tops, if I don't have that questionnaire in my mailbox, you can bet your ass I'm calling that office. Because I'm not going to jail for not receiving something I'm supposed to get in the mail. It's not going to happen. But I am going to call my postal service up the road and see if there are any ways that they can ensure that the mail carrier gives me that paper. Because, part of me does not trust the mail carrier to not screw that up. Well, this is the Game Corner Podcast, episode 17, folks. I took last week off because with all the things, my family that started to happen last week, and the E3 stuff, aftermath of E3, and most of the news and stuff were just more screenshots, more trailers, more rumors, more E3 gaming news, that wasn't shown at the press conferences and stuff. And doing the podcast by myself, I felt like there was just way too much to go over. In episode 16, myself and a few members of Black Sakura, we gave you 7 hours of E3 coverage in 5 videos. They are all on my channel. You can go back and watch them if you would like. If you hear my fan going in the background, I apologize for that, but it is currently in the mid-90s for Fahrenheit temperatures right now. We are in the middle of a summer heat wave that is expected to last through next Saturday, which is July 7th, with very little or no rain to relieve these temperatures. Currently, it is 103 degrees outside. Absolutely ridiculous. This is the Game Corner Podcast, episode 17. Follow me on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow Black Sakura on Facebook. Follow Erin Fitzgerald, the voice actress, and my friend on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. All the links, as always, are in the video description down below. And check out jotaku.net, where you can read my latest game review on Horizon Chase Turbo, which has been posted for a couple of weeks now onto the website, although it does have a couple grammatical errors, which I reached out to the admins of the website and asked them to correct, and I don't believe they've been fixed. But that being said, folks, I have 17 articles to go over today, and I'm going to also talk about how I'm going to restructure this podcast while I'm doing it by myself until Cypher comes back. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about the Xbox Games with Gold and the PlayStation Plus free games for July. I'm also going to talk to you guys, tell you guys about the new games added to Xbox Game Pass for the month of July. Nintendo applying for Fire Emblem and the GameCube trademarks. That's something interesting. Shenmue 3 backer survey sent out, and the PC requirements have been revealed. We got a broken link here. Ichigo being revealed as a playable character in Jump Force. This article is quite broken. Some of these links are broken. That's great. Blade Strangers, which is a fighting game I at one point didn't give a shit about, but it actually looks pretty good. Coming to the United States in August. Square Enix wants to hear from the fans. They sent out a survey to help shape the future of their games. Toe Jam and Earl, talk about that. That's coming back in some way. Sony supposedly looking into the possibilities for PS4 crossplay. We also have the reason why Final Fantasy VII Remake news has not been surfacing as of late, especially at E3. We have the reasons on that. And also Capcom planning to further develop games on the Switch and considering online games. All this and more on the Game Corner Podcast. Alright, you guys, first off, the first games coming to Xbox, and the first games coming to Xbox One via Games with Gold. We have Assault Android Cactus, which is available as of today through the 31st. We have Death Squared, which is also available as of today until August 15th. Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, backwards compatible with Xbox One. Available until July 15th. And Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction, available from July 15th to the 31st. Also backwards compatible with Xbox One. The only game I have any experience with here is Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown. I have the original version of Virtua Fighter 5 on my Xbox 360. I do have Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown on my PS3 through PlayStation Plus, but I can't play it, and I've mentioned this many times because my PS3 does not work. So, downloading this game again on the Xbox, yeah, not too shabby. It's only one game out of 4 that I'm actually interested in. It's the only game out of the 4 that I have any experience with. And while I'm holding out hope for Virtua Fighter 6, since Virtua Fighter 5 is now like a 12-year-old game, them just like reporting and rehashing Virtua Fighter 5 it's really getting old. It's a good game, you know. Download it for free, keep it forever as long as you have Xbox Live Gold. Not too shabby of a game, but the other games, download at your own risk. I know nothing about them, so there's that. And we have the PlayStation Plus PlayStation Plus free games for July as well, which will be available this Tuesday. As soon as I can find the article. Come on. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. That's definitely not it. Nope. Nope. Alright, where is this article? I have it. I pulled it up. That's about that. Blade Strangers. Here it is. PlayStation Plus lineup for July includes Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma. So, coming to the PlayStation Plus this Tuesday in North America, July 3rd, is Absolver for PS4, Deception 4, The Nightmare Princess for the PlayStation 3, Heavy Rain on PS4, which is an HD remake, Rayman 3 HD for the PS3, Space Overlords for the Vita, and Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma for the Vita. A couple of games I'm interested in here. Rayman, although I can't play it. Deception 4, I'm kind of interested in. Again, I can't play it. I may give Absolver a shot. And I have watched my brother play through the entirety of Heavy Rain. So, Heavy Rain is one of those games where you have to pretty much do a QTE, or a QuickTime event, sort of like for almost every action in the game. And a game, if you've played like Beyond Two Souls, it's pretty much like that. I think Beyond Two Souls actually came out after Heavy Rain. Here's another game very similar. So those games are available until August 2nd. So you can download those as of July 3rd until August 2nd. In addition, it says PlayStation 4 owners with PS Plus can still download Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which was added to June's PlayStation Plus lineup at E3 2018 until July 11th. So if you still haven't downloaded Black Ops 3 and you want to get it for free, you have until the 11th of July to do so. So there's that. Alright, Xbox Game Pass adds a handful of titles to their streaming game service. Warhammer Vermintide 2 will be added on July 11th. Dirt 4 will be added on July 1st, which I'm actually interested in playing. Zombie Army Trilogy will be available as of today. Bomber Crew will be available as of the 10th of July. Abzu is available now. Shadow Complex Remastered is available now, which I have on PC. But since I'm a console gamer, I'd rather play it on that. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion is available now on Game Pass. Fallout 3, Human Fall Flat are also available right now. So, those are your new games added. I have played halfway through Fallout 3. I got bored of it, didn't care for it anymore. I stopped playing it. Human Fall Flat, I was gifted on Steam, and I haven't played it yet. Elder Scrolls, I'm not a fan of, but I know like a lot of people loved it. Abzu, don't really care. Bomber Crew, I want to say I heard of this game. At the same time, I don't think I have. Zombie Army Trilogy, I might try that one. Dirt 4, I definitely want to play. And Warhammer Vermintide 2, I've never played a Warhammer game. And I don't plan to. So that's 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 games being added to Xbox Games with Gold for the month of July. Nintendo applies for GameCube and Fire Emblem trademarks. Nintendo filed for several new trademarks last week, including several GameCube trademarks that aren't for general merchandise, used as well as trademarks for upcoming Fire Emblem games and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC. So they filed trademarks for the GameCube video game use, the Japanese subtitle for Fire Emblem Three Houses, which is the new Fire Emblem game coming next year, the Japanese name for Torna, the Golden Country, Sky Skipper, upcoming Virtual Console release, Fitness Boxing, an upcoming localization, Nintendo Entertainment System, the Game Boy, and the Nintendo 3DS. They filed 2 trademarks for that. Then they show the patents that they actually filed. It's all in Japanese. I can't read it. What the fuck? So it's kind of interesting that they're filing these trademarks again. I guess they have to renew their copyright and their their copyright protection on these stuff, especially the Game Boy, the GameCube, the NES, the 3DS, and then the new stuff that's releasing. They obviously need to file trademarks for. So, Sky Skipper, I don't know what that is. Fitness Boxing, which is a localization of Imagineer's Fit Boxing from the, I don't know what that is, the NES. So they're filing 2 trademarks for the NES, one with the full name and one with the abbreviated name. So that's interesting that they're doing that. I don't know exactly what it's going to lead to, but I thought I should just let you know. PC requirements for Shenmue 3 have been revealed. System requirements for the PC version: you will need, at the minimum, Windows 7 64-bit, Windows 8 64-bit, Windows 10 64-bit required. Processor: Intel Core i5 4460, 3.4 gigahertz or better, a quad core or better CPU. 4 gigs of memory, NVIDIA GeForce 650 Ti or better graphics card with DirectX and VRAM 2 gigs required. DirectX 11, broadband internet connection, 100 gigabytes available hard drive space, sound card, DirectX 9C compatible sound card. Additional info: requires Steam client to activate. Shenmue 3 will come out on PlayStation 4 and PC in 2019. So, you don't have to have the beefiest of computers to run this game at the minimum settings. I'm not seeing the maximum settings. I don't know what the maximum settings are going to be. Not showing me that. But it sounds like to play this game, you need a decent computer, but you don't need top-of-the-line stuff. Or you don't need near top-of-the-line stuff. So if you're a PC gamer, keep those specs in mind. Ichigo has been revealed as a Jump Force playable character. Now at E3, Xbox revealed it at their conference. They revealed the Jump Force trailer. The game looks really freaking awesome. And when you think Shonen Jump and you think Shonen anime and whatnot, you can't not think of Bleach. You just can't. Bleach is such a staple of anime. It's been around for such a long time. You know, it's way up there with Dragon Ball and Naruto and now My Hero Academia and One Piece and whatnot, that you can't, not leave Bleach out of this game. Bandai Namco revealed in last week's issue of Jump magazine in Japan that Ichigo Kurosaki, the main protagonist of the manga and anime Bleach, will join Jump Force as a playable character. The magazine doesn't share much as far as gameplay goes. It does show Rukia and that man Suzuki Aizen in the images. It is also reveals Hong Kong as one of its stages. Jump Force releases in 2019 for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So, there you go. He wasn't shown in the E3 trailer, but again, how could you ignore Bleach when you think Shonen Jump and Shonen manga and Shonen anime? I'm excited for this game. I did watch a little bit of Bleach. I didn't really get into it. I did play Bleach Soul Resurrection on the PlayStation 3. It was a pretty good Dynasty Warriors style game. Blade Strangers heads to the US on August 28th for the PS4, Switch, and the PC. So this game is being made by a company called Nicalis. Announced that the upcoming crossover fighting game, Blade Strangers, will be heading west on August 28th, which is next month, which is pretty good. I don't know how exactly I'm going to play this game. I don't plan on buying it right away, but I do want to play it. I did ignore this game for a little while, and I decided one day just to watch a few trailers and some gameplay trailers, and I thought just by the name alone I was ignoring the game, and when I discovered it's a 2D style fighting game, I'm hooked. Let's see, more details from the publisher Nicalis. The indie crossover brawler developed by Studio Seizensen embraces a traditional and streamlined 4-button control scheme that offers accessible input for beginner players while still providing advanced players with endless opportunities to discover new tactics as they hone their skills. Blade Strangers combines the excitement and subtle dynamics of a classic one-on-one fighting game with the polish and high-quality visuals expected from a current-gen contender. The game will arrive feature-rich at launch, complete with a wide variety of online and offline gameplay modes and additional offerings, including story mode, arcade mode, challenge mode, survival mode, versus mode, online modes, create or search for rooms, and engage in stealth, casual, or league matches, tutorials, training, and other features such as online leaderboards, screen view and control customizations, player profiles, stat tracking, unlockable items, character colors, portraits, and special titles. All the stuff that you would expect a fighting game to come with. It's seeming like it's going to be an interesting game. If it's the right price for an indie game, I don't think it's going to get a physical copy release For the right price, I'll probably download it. This game is probably going to be at least $20. The diverse roster of Blade Strangers includes unique characters from different backgrounds, headlined by Quote and Curly Brace from Cave Story, Isaac from The Binding of Isaac, Solange, Ali Liongate, and Master T from Code of Princess EX, and Kawase Noko and Emiko from the Umihara Kawase series. I probably butchered the names of that. The 14-character launch roster also features indie superstar Shovel Knight and Gunvolt as special guest players, plus new characters Lena and Helen, who are appearing in a video game for the first time ever. So, there you go. Those are some of the characters that are in the game. It has 14 characters at launch. There's probably going to be some DLC characters down the line if this game sells decently enough. I'm interested, and for the right price, I'll probably buy it. If not, I'll be waiting. Toe Jam and Earl, Back in the Groove. Closed beta starts July 5th. Game debuts this fall. A closed beta and release window have been revealed for Toe Jam and Earl Back in the Groove, the latest entry in the series that was crowdfunded back on March 27th, 2015. A 2-week beta will begin on July 5th, 2018, which is this Thursday, for early access level and higher backers, followed by an eventual fall 2018 release. Toe Jam and Earl Early Access Closed Beta will run from July 5th to the 19th. About 2,500 people will be able to participate. They ask people not to stream or share video footage when they get their Steam codes and start playing on PC. However, they do ask for feedback to help them with balancing and debugging. A dedicated Kickstarter update will follow for backers. So, there you go. Apparently, Adult Swim Games is helping out and whatnot. I really didn't care much for Toe Jam and Earl. I thought the game was kind of boring. I played it back when I had the Sega channel in like 1997. When the Sega channel was a thing. It was like 1997 or 1996. It was one of those 2 years. I had the Sega channel back then. I played a lot of games on my Genesis that I never actually owned. It was because of the Sega channel that I never actually bought games for my Genesis, because you got to play full games for about a week or two at a time, and some games would have early release demos or early full releases on the Sega channel. It was really cool. Really cool. No, I'm really not interested in this, so honestly, Toe Jam and Earl can just like go back from where it came, because I really don't care. Let's see. So Square Enix put out a survey, and they're asking for feedback from the fans because they want to help. They want to use the information to help their future. So they put out their thing, So they put out their survey to help shape the future of the company. And in order to do so, they've launched a short player survey that will be available through July 8th. So you have 1 week to complete this. Those of you interested in participating can complete the Square Enix survey here. I'll put the link in the description down below as usual. Square Enix will take all feedback from the survey. That takes an estimate of 20 minutes to complete. Additionally, those 14 random participants who complete the survey will receive up to $500 of Square Enix store funds. So, 14 people will win $500 for doing this, which you could spend on Square Enix's store, which is pretty cool. So give it a shot. You might win some money. The survey is available until July 8th at midnight PST, which will be July 9th at 3 a.m. for the U.S. Eastern Time Zone, which is the East Coast and part of Canada. I'm actually probably going to do this myself, so I'm going to go save this link off somewhere else. Open link in new tab. Alright, so it's over. I'm going to put it over here and out of the way. Alright, so that's interesting. And again, I will put the link in the description down below. Sony looking at possibilities for PS4 console crossplay. Oh, man. You ever have one of those moments where you feel like you're going to sneeze and it just doesn't want to come out? Sony found itself under a lot of backlash recently regarding the crossplay restrictions for the PS4 console. And Sony Interactive Entertainment America CEO Sean Layden has more to share on that in an interview with Eurogamer. The recent criticism started when it came to light that those who've only played Fortnite even once on PS4 will be blocked from using that same account on the Switch, regardless of whether you play mostly on PC or smartphones. Sony previously offered a lukewarm response on the matter, but Layden had a little more to add that shows a different light from Sony. And I quote, We're hearing it. We're looking at a lot of the possibilities you can imagine, that the circumstances around that affect a lot more than just one game. I'm confident we'll get to a solution which will be understood and accepted by our gaming community, while at the same time supporting our business. Both Nintendo and Microsoft have embraced the idea of crossplay between all platforms. In light of recent news, the two gaming giants haven't shied away from disagreeing with Sony's stance. I don't blame them. Why should Microsoft and Nintendo agree? Why can't Sony just allow it? You know, they don't allow much crossplay with PC as it is. There's only a few games I could think of you could play with on PC and PS4. But games like Fortnite come to mind. Rocket League comes to mind. And bigger AAA titles that come out, you know, like the bigger Call of Duty games, Battlefield 5. They're on multiple platforms. Let the players play with their friends, even if they play on different consoles or PC. Because if you think about it, if you're restricting your player base to the PS4 and some games to PC players, you might lose those customers to a competing software or hardware, in this case, like the Xbox, where they are not restricted from playing with their friends on other hardware. For example, recently, our founder of Black Sakura, he bought Rocket League, and he's been asking me to play. Now, it's all well and good, but right now, with the PS4 and PC crossplay, you can only do party matches, which means you can only play with people you invite. Now, I know people on the Xbox and the PC, and I probably know at least one person on the Switch that plays Rocket League. Now, if I was able to invite people from Xbox and Nintendo to join our parties on the PS4 and PC, we could have a friggin' blast. But no, I'm stuck playing on the PS4. People I know can play with each other between Xbox, PC, and Nintendo. That's all well and good. And while I want to play with those people, I can't. Now, what if you have a group of people, a group of, let's say, four friends, and two of them play Fortnite on Xbox, one of them plays Fortnite on the Switch, one of them plays Fortnite on the PS4. And those four friends, they're best friends. They go to the same school. They have the same classes. They live near each other. They go on the same school bus. And they want to pal around and have a party in the game. But while 3 of the 4 players in the group can play together, the one guy is isolated because the PS4 doesn't allow him to play with his 3 friends. Sony, you need to... No, you need to stop, because what if that one person jumps ship to the Xbox or to Nintendo just so he could play with his friends? You need to allow crossplay on every platform. Allowing it on every platform is not going to get people to give up on the PS4. If anything, it's going to make people want to buy PS4s more. Sure, people that are already playing your games on Xbox and can play with PS4 players and would rather play Xbox, well, that's all well and good. But the people that want to play with their friends on the PS4, they play on PS4 and their friends don't, they're restricted from playing with their friends. And you may see them jump ship to your competition just to play with their friends. Think smarter, Sony. Think smarter. We are 41 and a half minutes in already, and I still got a boatload of I got a few topics left. 2, 3, 7 topics left. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate will not bring back every stage, which is fine. I heard there's going to be at least like 70 stages or 75 stages. There was an interview, apparently. The game currently has 75 stages, which is more than enough. And the interview was with... Who was it with? Let me see. Bringing back every character. Smash Bros. Is bringing back every character who has been in the series, plus a small amount of new characters. Nothing has been said in the amount of stages that are returning, however. Okay, Bill Trinan and Nate Bildorf from Nintendo of America have confirmed that not all stages are coming back. They had an interview with Eurogamer. They asked if there's going to be a beta to test online servers and whatnot, and test the stages. There are currently no finalized plans for a beta or a demo. However, we hope to announce some news about that within this year. So, the game comes out on December 7th. We have a little more than 5 months before the game comes out. Excuse me. And they are apparently not going to have a beta, which they haven't done with any other Smash Bros. Game before, so I guess they really don't need to. Are there any pro players involved with the balance changes in Smash Bros. Ultimate? They answered, regarding the game design, Sakurai is in charge of tweaking the character parameters. The version at E3 is not the final build and will continue to be changed. Which some people said that some of the characters got nerfed mid-tournament at E3, which I thought was pretty funny. Can the game be played with just one Joy-Con? Furthermore, will the GameCube controllers be sold again? Well, of course they're going to be sold again. I think that was announced already. You can play with just one Joy-Con. I don't know why you would want to. And you can play Smash Bros. Portable with one Joy-Con for each person as well. As for the GameCube controller, you can use the ones sold for the Wii U through the Wii U GameCube adapter, but we are also planning to sell versions of the adapter and controllers with new logos as well. However, GameCube controllers are only usable in docked mode. Well, no shit. Will stages change between dock mode and handheld mode, like how stages differed between the Wii U and 3DS versions? Stages will not change between Switch playstyles. While not every stage from the past titles are making a return, many of them are coming back. Stages from the 3DS version will be returning with upgraded graphics, as you may have seen. So there you go. They have 75 stages crammed into this game. That's more than enough. I can't even name a fighting game that has more than 20. To be honest. Blizzard files patent for the phrase "play of the game." This is bullshit. Blizzard's patent for play of the game system in Overwatch used to rewatch a particular player's highlights at the end of a game was recently granted by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. The patent talks about how timestamps are recorded on when the event occurs. Then the system chooses the top player in a certain category before showing the replay of their highlights. The patent also includes the social sharing features added post-launch for Overwatch. With the patent now firmly in Blizzard's hands, they might be going after any games that currently have a similar feature or any Overwatch clones. Overwatch is available for PC, Xbox One, PS4. So, it's a good thing they didn't trademark the phrase play of the game, because actual sports like baseball, football, basketball, and whatnot, they use that phrase every time. Play of the game. You know, baseball, drive of the game. Play of the game, player of the game. You know, baseball, football. In football, play of the game, where they'll show the turning point in the game, or, you know, let's say Ben Roethlisberger throws an 80-yard touchdown pass with like 25 seconds left in the game, and it gives them the lead. That's the play of the game. As far as Blizzard now going after any already existing games that have similar features to their play of the game style, I think any games out now that have a similar thing should be grandfathered in and should not be allowed to be attacked or taken down by Blizzard, because those were already a feature in those games before the patent was granted by the Trademark Commission of the U.S. Now, new games and new Overwatch clones that do this, yes, I think it's fair for them to take those games down. But current existing games that use a play of the game feature, I don't think Blizzard should be allowed to go after them for using the feature, because the game was already pre-existed before they secured the rights solely for themselves. I think it's bullshit, and I just don't like Blizzard. Fuck them. I don't care. Super Neptunia RPG reveals IF and Kappa characters and a glimpse of the HDD mode and the CPUs. Oh my fucking god. Fuck off. Compound Heart shared a few teasers in last week's Dengeki PlayStation magazine with a sneak peek at the CPUs in their HDD forms. Purple Heart, Black Heart, Green Heart, and White Heart. This is something I've been hoping was going to be in the game. The last time I went over Super Neptunia RPG, they did not show the CPU forms for the characters, so I'm glad that they are coming back with these forms. Makes me a happy guy. As for new characters revealed, Super Neptunia RPG reveals IF and Kampa, and that's it. So It doesn't say they're going to be playable characters. It just says they are revealed as new characters for the game. They could be NPCs, like Cyber Dimension Neptunia. They could be playable characters. Hopefully they're playable characters, because Compa's a pretty decent healer. Check out new characters. You can check out some of its new characters with QK, Mai, and Surara. Crom, is that Crom? Yeah, Crom and Fearin in previous reports for more details on dungeon travel and battle UI. Yeah, so we got a little bit more information. And we do have a release date now. We do have a release date. Guys, it comes out September 27, 2018 for PlayStation 4. The game will release for PS4 and Nintendo Switch in the West this fall. So it's going to release in Japan on the 27th of September. And it's going to release... Now, it's only releasing for the PS4 in Japan, but it's not going to be on the Switch in Japan? That fucking doesn't make sense. But it's coming to the West this fall in 2018. So I would imagine the US is going to get it maybe a month or two later. It's going to drop before Christmas. I'm going to say 2 to 3 months we'll have the game in the US on both the Nintendo Switch and the PS4. This makes me happy. We finally have a release date, at least for Japan anyways. I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this game for quite a little while. And Super Neptunia RPG is kind of giving me that motivation back to really get back into the series as much as I used to be. So we have the reason as to why Final Fantasy VII Remake news has not been surfacing as of late. When asked about Final Fantasy VII Remake during a recent interview, director Tetsuya Nomura said he acknowledges that there has been no... he says he acknowledges that there's been some fake news, likely, about the rumored 2023 release window. And fans may feel uneasy about it, but he said the development is going favorably and satisfying. However, Nomura said that the lack of new information on the remake has nothing to do with the development status. According to the director, the reason is because Square Enix is prioritizing the release of other titles, including Kingdom Hearts 3. Square Enix is currently looking ahead for a possible timing to release new information on the FF7 remake, and Nomura asks fans to wait a little longer. Kingdom Hearts 3 releases January 29th, 2019, so hopefully we'll get more steady flow of news on the game after its release. Final Fantasy VII Remake is in development for the PS4. So there you go. Now we know why we didn't see it at E3, but yet, at the same time, because they had a much heavier focus on Kingdom Hearts 3, which makes sense. Final Fantasy VII Remake won't be out for a while. Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out in about 6 months. 7 months, whatever. It's smarter to prioritize your focus on what's coming out sooner rather than later. I don't blame Square Enix for doing this one bit. I said during our E3 coverage in the last episode, I was kind of surprised we didn't hear anything about Final Fantasy VII, the remake, and the reason given makes complete sense. Good on Square Enix for doing the right thing. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, now compatible with Nintendo Labo. People who own the Labo Variety Kit now have a new way to play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. An update has been released for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that makes it compatible with the Toy-Con motorbike. After downloading the update, a new option will appear in the menu. It will allow you to choose the Nintendo Labo Toy-Con motorbike to play the game shown in a trailer below, which I'm not going to play for copyright reasons. So, you could get the game and the Labo kit. They are both available now. I think it's pretty cool. While I personally won't play the game with the Labo, I'm not going to buy Labo for any reason. But I think it's pretty cool for people that do enjoy the Labo. Now have another reason to use it. I think it's pretty cool that they went back and updated Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to be able to use the motorbike Toy-Con. And it makes sense because there are motorcycles as carts in the game. I use one. Makes perfect sense if you ask me. Now, if they go back and make other games that would make sense compatible with the Labo, I think that would be a pretty neat idea. Maybe, I don't know. You know? Maybe, isn't there like a gun thing for the Labo? Maybe you could make that compatible with Splatoon 2. I think that'd be pretty neat. Or maybe Nintendo can release a Labo thing, a Toy-Con thing for ARMS. You know, where it looks like some kind of makeshift boxing glove type things with the Joy-Cons in your hands that you can wear while you're playing. I think that'd be pretty cool. But whatever the case, it's pretty cool to see Nintendo updating some of their games, or at least one of them right now, to be compatible with their latest investment. One of their latest investments. Capcom plans to continue developing Switch games and is considering online games. Here we go with another Q&A. Capcom held its 30th shareholders meeting earlier last month. The company shared parts of the Q&A with shareholders where they answer questions on esports, Switch games, and more. Regarding your sales strategy for video game software, how are you thinking about the ratio of sales for each game platform? They answered, we are pursuing a multi-platform strategy because its functionality and speculation of each hardware platform differs. We carry out development that best suits the functionality of each. They were asked about esports. It says, regarding esports, I believe it would be best to develop multiplayer online games because team-based competitive games are the mainstream. Fuck esports. Capcom is currently using Street Fighter, but what are your thoughts on utilizing other titles in esports? They said that they plan to continue promoting Street Fighter as our flagship esports title in the future. Additionally, we will consider developing multiplayer online games and act accordingly. Also, note that it is possible to play Monster Hunter World with up to 4 people throughout the globe. And the last question that they shared with the Q&A is, I believe that if the number of Nintendo Switch units sold increases, it should positively impact Capcom's performance. What are your impressions of the Switch? They answered, we currently have Monster Hunter Double X, or Double Cross as it's called, for the Nintendo Switch version available for the console, and plan to continue developing other titles for this platform in the future. Additionally, going onward, we would like to focus on esports as well as developing video games that take advantage of connection speed improvements on smartphones and those that support ongoing visual improvements in televisions. So, there you go. There you go. Apparently, they will be considering making more games for the Switch. They are releasing Mega Man X Collection 1 and 2 on the Switch, as well as having Mega Man Collection 1 and 2 on the Switch. I believe Mega Man 11 will also be on the Switch. So, they are supporting the Switch a little bit here and there. And they say they plan to continue doing that to some extent. But clearly they want to focus on esports. Why? Fuck esports. And now we've come to the last segment, which is, I have a bit to say about this. Omega Labyrinth canceled in the West on the PS4 and the PS Vita. Good. Fuck it. Here's why. Message from P-Cubed has been shared. P-Cubed strives to release Japanese content for the fans as close to the source material as possible. In the case of Omega Labyrinth Z, while P-Cube has worked with all relevant age ratings bodies in their respective territories, P-Cube must respectfully comply with the wishes of the platform holder and have therefore withdrawn any future plans for Omega Labyrinth Z's European and North American releases on the PS4 and the PS Vita. This roguelike dungeon crawler was expected to release in the West in spring 2018, but the publisher PQ announced that this is no longer the case as the localization has been cancelled. Previously, it was reported that Omega Labyrinth Z was refused classification in the UK as well. And the UK rarely ever bans games. You, however, can still play it in Japan for the PS4 and the Vita. So apparently, the game is being banned because of the overtones of sexualization with the characters and the over-exaggerated booby jiggle physics and other reasons which I honestly don't give a fuck about. Now, I don't want to see a game banned, because a publisher works hard. Publishers and developers, they work hard to get these games out to people. But if these developers and these publishers are going to have these games made solely for adolescent fucking teenage weeaboos just to get their fucking dicks hard because of anime titties, good. Fuck you. Fuck you and fuck your game too. If you're going to release a fan service game solely for fan service sake and you're not going to release a game that's going to have a pretty decent story and the kind of gameplay and whatnot that's going to keep your audience interested in the game, and you're focusing solely on the not solely on the fan service but heavily on the fan service, then good. Fuck you. Good. Tired of hearing about these fucking people bitching and complaining about, oh, the game was canceled. Boycott, boycott, boycott. I'm canceling it. This reminds me of the bullshit from Dead or Alive 6 when that was announced about a week and a half ago. I read a tweet on Twitter that Koei Tecmo and the developers behind Dead or Alive 6 have made the decision to tone down the boob jiggle physics in their Dead or Alive 6 game. Now, I understand why they did this. Because of the backlash from the fucking crybaby snowflake cocksucker SJWs that came out in droves to cry about the sexualization of the female characters in Dead or Alive Extreme 3. But yet these same people had no problem with Dead or Alive Extreme 1 and 2. So, Koei Tecmo decided to keep the game in Asian territories only, similar to this Omega Labyrinth situation, to make the crybabies happy. Fuck you. Number one. Number two. All the people that are bitching and whining and complaining, I read a good handful of tweets, at least a good 50 tweets. Every single fucking tweet said either canceling my pre-order. Boycott this game. I'm canceling my pre-order. Fuck this game. Save the jiggle physics or whatever. I mean, when you think Dead or Alive is a fighting game, is that really what's most important to you? Is seeing pixelated titties bouncing up and down? I mean, really? Because when I play Dead or Alive, I focus on the actual gameplay. You know, because that's what actually makes the game fun. I'm still going to buy DOA 6. I don't have a problem with the toned down boob physics. How about Street Fighter V? Remember when Chun-Li had that glitch with her fucking boobs and on the character loading screen or whatever for a fight, her boobs fucking like flopped up and down, and supposedly that was a glitch, according to Capcom or whatever, and they took that out and they removed it from the game. I didn't see people complaining about that. So why are you complaining about this? I'm still going to buy it. If boob physics is enough for you to cancel a game, your pre-order on a game, refuse to play the game, and want to boycott it and bitch and cry over something so minimal, fuck you. Okay? I am sick and tired of hearing it. Grow the fuck up. That being said, folks, this is the end of the Game Corner Podcast, episode 17. A little over an hour here on my own. So let me explain to you guys before I get out of here how we're going to do things. While I'm by myself, I will be recording these on Sundays, which means you will see them on Mondays to start your work week. And without my co-host Cypher, I'm not going to be doing these videos in parts like I normally would, 2 or 3 parts per episode. I'm going to compile all the news on a Sunday and record the podcast like I just did, and then you will see it the following day on a Monday. So this is how it's going to be for the foreseeable future. I'm hoping to return back to the regular format I had planned for this podcast when Cypher is ready. I hope he is doing alright in his personal endeavors. And with that being said, folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is The Rose. And until next time, I'll catch your ass down the road.